everyone. So today I'm going to be utilizing Aeropage to be able to send out emails to a client or a colleague that I might need to send an email to get their approval on something. But I don't want to add them as a collaborator to my base. I don't want them to have an Airtable account. I just want them to be able to get an email from me and say, yes or no, that's approved, and be able to edit the record in my Airtable base. So I'm going to be utilizing Aeropage's workflows and Airtable automations for this today. Here in my Aeropage, I'm in my home screen. I'm just going to go to workflows. From here, let's go ahead and start a new project. We will just call this approval. And let's hit continue, connect our base, create our workflow. So first thing I want to do is I want to create my email, right? What email is going to be sent to the party that is needing to update my record? So let's go ahead and select our tool, which is our dynamic email. And let's say approval email. It's going to need us to connect a view. All right, so here I have my email. From here, let's add some components in here. Let's do a text. Hello. Let's say attached is the most recent update on your project. Please let us know if this is approved. So I'm not going crazy here, right? This is an HTML type dynamic email. If I wanted to put headers in here, bolds, colors, fonts, I can absolutely do that. But for the use case and just to make this video not so long, I'm going to just go ahead and leave it as plain and simple as I can so you get the concept of it. So from here now, I want those yes or no buttons, right? Or approved or denied, or, you know, if you're utilizing this or maybe a CRM, you could say, you know, ask me for more information or please unsubscribe. So we're going to go ahead and just add two components. We're going to add two buttons. So I'm going to add my first button and let's call this approved. And let's make it green so that we know it is approved. It's pretty apparent. And let's add another button that says denied. And we'll just make that one red. And then from there, you can, you know, add your signature, do whatever you need to do. So making this nice, simple, and easy, I'm going to go ahead and just publish this because I want to get my script to take this email into an HTML email through Airtable automations. All right, so once I have that published, I'm going to go down right in here to my instructions. I'm going to go to our Airtable. If I can find it, I could just scroll down and provide the script. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to grab this script. We're going to go to my base, go to my automation. I have an automation started here where I'm just saying I'm going to do this with a trigger of a button. I'm going to say this is going to send weekly or however, and then from there I want my email to run. So when a record matches conditions, if that record is checked, we are going to run a script. I'm going to paste the script that I have. I'm going to add my variable, which is my record ID. And then I need my sharing link from Aeropage. So if I go backwards here and say copy sharing link, and let's paste it right there. So we can go ahead and test this. Make sure our script runs. All right, so that ran. I have a successful output. I'm just going to hit finish. So in my Gmail that I want it to send, I'm going to go ahead and just select that output from running a script. And let's say the next step I want to do after it sends that email is I want to update my record, update that record ID. We're going to update our approval field to sent. There we go. And update it, make sure that automation is on. All right. So now when I go back into my base, if I hit send that email, it should run the automation, send this email that we just generated. This is just, again, very generic. None of these buttons are working yet, right? I'm just testing this through. It's saying that my approval was sent. And then if I go into my inbox, there we go. There's my approval needed for whatever it might be. And of course, now these buttons, I need them to work. All right, so our email has now sent. That automation we know is working and is running great. So the next thing I need to do is I need to be able to click those buttons and actually make them do something. So I'm going to go back into Aeropage and I'm going to go into my workflow and I'm going to add a new project. I'm going to do a dynamic page. This is what's going to allow us to edit the record. Let's say this one is called approved. Let's get that view connected. All right, so let's just add a text. So this page that you're seeing in a sense is like a confirmation page, right? They just click that button saying yes or no, approved, not approved, unsubscribe. And so now they're going to get a page that's going to say, you know, thank you for updating us or whatever it might be. But the next step we're going to do is it's actually going to send hidden data to our Airtable record. So I'm going to first create what the consumer is going to see. And let's just make it super quick and simple and say, thank you for updating us. And again, we said this was for like the approval. So thank you for updating us. Your project has been approved and is moving forward. So again, nothing fancy, but go ahead and add whatever you want here within the HTML emails. The next component I'm going to add is our send data. So here I'm going to allow them to edit a record. We are going to say it's a dynamic page. And we are going to add our field. Let's do a control find here and figure out where my field is. And that field value we're going to say is yes, or again, approved, or whatever that selection might be in your base. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that. And I'm going to go back again to my workflow, and now I'm going to create the denial. So that was approved. Again, let's call this denial. Add that text. Thank you for updating us. We will be in touch. And then that send data one more time. And this time we're going to update it to no. All right, so those two are done now, right? We have an approval page and a denial page. Each one is sending different data to our base and updating that record. But now we have to connect all of that workflow together. So I'm going to go back one more time to my workflow, go back to the approval email, and now these buttons that we have, we are going to connect them to our approval page and to our denial page. So again, I clicked on my approved page or my approved button. I said link it to that dynamic page I just created. Denied is my denial page. Published it, called it good. So let's go ahead and run through this automation. And let's go ahead and clear this out. And let's just run it all from the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and send that. Let the dynamic email come in. Let the email automation go out. Have it update my base to say that that was sent. There we are. Now let's go into my emails. So here's this new one. Now you can tell that these buttons are clickable now, right? Where before I made them do anything, I can't hover over them. So here's our new one. Let's go ahead and say that it's approved. Let the user click on it. It's going to open that confirmation page that they see, and at which point too you can say like, it's okay to close this page now, no information, nothing else is needed. If I go back into my Airtable base, you can now see that that approval says yes. If they went back one more, let's say they misclicked or something, they could go back into that email, do denied, same process, it's going to update my base. Then from there, I can do as many automations as I need or trigger it down the pipeline into our internal system, who needs to work on what or do what. But now I have the ability to edit records inside my Airtable base without the user having to have an Airtable account, know what Airtable is, be a collaborator on your base, and you having to pay for editability. And it just gives us a nice, easy, clean way to present it to the consumer without them being too overwhelmed or crowding up their inboxes as well. So I hope that that helps you. It's a wonderful tool and a wonderful program, and I use it every day in my business. So I hope it has been helpful for you. And if you need anything else implemented, go ahead and reach out.